First of all, welcome to this video series that we're doing with the Cosmos Hub. Just to begin with, I would love if you can give us like a quick intro about you and what are you working on.
So yeah, my name is Marius. I'm working at Informal Systems on the Cosmos Hub team. I'm the engineering manager. I'm with Informal for almost 3 years. From the beginning, I started with working on interchain security from like 3 years ago, and then just evolved into more of a managerial role and working on Cosmos Hub, stewarding the hub, cutting Gaia releases, and so on. As a little bit about my background, I have a background in computer science, have a PhD in designing consensus algorithms. So that was, my entry to Cosmos. Yeah, that's pretty much me.
And how did you come across exploring like Cosmos ecosystem?
So yeah, this is, to be frank, before joining Informal, I didn't know about Cosmos. I knew about blockchains, I knew about consensus, like very research oriented. And at some point I was looking for a job. I finished my PhD, tried a startup, didn't work out. And I was looking for a job in the field. And it was very important for me to be remote. I got into this, and then the entire world of Cosmos got open to me, and it's really exciting. The technology is great, so it's really cool to be here.
You've been in this basically working with Cosmos for some time now. What do you think, where it is headed, in terms of in the coming 1 or 2 years? What do you think are some of the things that will be very exciting or that will be very pivotal for Cosmos?
So I think the vision of Cosmos is very important, right? So it's the app chain vision. And I think Cosmos Hub is pivotal to that vision. And I think it should stay like that. At least this is how I see it. Of course, we never know, but I think it's very important to enable a world of sovereign interoperable chains where people can come and build cool projects on top, right? Without even knowing that they are building on top of a blockchain. So this is the really, really cool thing. And I think we are trying to enable that with Cosmos Hub. There are some projects, some products actually, I will call them now, that really help with that. So it's Forge and it's Hydro, it's Neutron that enables with smart contracts, there is Hollow that can enable rollups on top. So there is this idea of building our sovereign applications on top. And then the next thing is the interchain stack that also enables that, right? The interchain stack enables developers to just come and build. You have access to Comet, you have access to a consensus engine, to SDK to be able to build your application. And I think the most important is IBC that enables you get bridges out of the box. This is really, really cool.
So what does your typical day look like in terms of working on Cosmos Hub?
So this is two parts answer. So because of the nature of my role, I'm an engineering manager, so the main idea of the role is to enable others to be successful at their job and to provide the support and the environment for them to grow and be the best version of themselves. And I really like that. It's an amazing role to have. Also because of my background, so I have a research background. One of my biggest passion is just solving problems. So I'm trying to spend as much time as possible to identify those problems and to find solutions for them.
What is an upcoming feature or release that you think cosmonauts overall will be very excited for, something they should look forward to?
So is this idea that I got this year at Modular from Sunny, something that I'm quite excited about. So it's complementing interchain security, the technology that we are building, and it's a concept that I'm calling proof of reputation. Right, so the idea is that you have all these consumer chains and validators are opting in to validate those chains. However, at the moment, if you double sign on those chains, you are getting slashed. And which means that not just the validators get slashed, the delegators get slashed as well. And most of the stake actually on Cosmos Hub is the delegator stake. So you are punishing the delegators and they have to take a risk from all of this consumer chain, which makes proof of stake it makes interchain security very expensive. So the idea here, instead of slashing those validators, you just jail them permanently on the hub. So you actually, if they misbehave on the consumer chains, they are losing their reputation. They are not staking their assets, which they don't do anyway, they are staking their reputation. So this will make interchain security much cheaper, and it will enable this idea of optimism has something like this, right? You go and you can start an application and you pay something like $3,000 and you get everything that you want. That's the competition, right? You want to enable applications to deploy on the Cosmos Hub and to be cheap.
We'll jump into this few questions about building on Cosmos, any tooling that you really enjoy. So are there any tools or dApps or platforms on Cosmos that you really enjoy using?
So yeah, there depends on what you are interested in. So from tooling, pure tooling, I think for developers, Spawn, it's this tool developed by Strangelove that enables you to integrate your application within the Cosmos SDK. Right, so you go and you choose your modules and just it wires them all together and you have suddenly your own app chain. So this I think is very interesting and to enable this growth of the ecosystem. So that's from the developer side. From a UX point of view, I think, Kepler comes to mind. It's an amazing, I do not know if it's a tool, it's more of a product, but I think it's an amazing wallet, it's an amazing experience. I think Osmosis is doing also an amazing job when it comes to their UX. And another tool/language that I'm really excited about is Quint, that we are working at Informal. So we are developing at Informal. It's a language specifically formal verification, and it enables designers to reason about their designs, right? About their models, finding variants and all of these things. And I think that's very important.
You mentioned that you work as an engineering manager. Since you talk within, and I'm pretty sure outside the ecosystem with folks also who are developers and builders, what do you think is few things that really draw builders to come to the Cosmos ecosystem?
I think the main thing is the tech. I think Cosmos has the best tech in the world. So I don't think that we're lacking. We have other problems, but mainly on the business side, we need to develop that side, but the tech is amazing. Right? If you look at the interchain stack, you have one of the best consensus engines. You have ABCI, the interface with the application that is very well defined. You have SDK and Cosmosm that you can build on top. And then the cherry on top is IBC, right? Again, the bridge out of the box, right? So you just start your application and you can bridge with all the entire Cosmos directly, and this is amazing. I think another thing that is beautiful in Cosmos is the idea of sovereignty, right? So you can take the interchain stack and build your own thing and own your own thing, right? You can build a community around it, right? You don't depend on an L1, you don't depend on a certain chain. If you build on Ethereum, it's great also to build on Ethereum, but you build there, you depend on the Ethereum L1, right? So, and the decisions that are taken there. Here in Cosmos, you can build your own project and you have your own governance. So you have full control of what's happening, and this is amazing.
We'll jump into a few questions about Hydro. So I think it would be great if you can give us like a quick explain about what Hydro is. Why do you think it's very important as a module for growing Cosmos Hub, especially for like upcoming projects if they want to?
So Hydro is a governance platform, right? So it's a governance platform for exporting liquidity to projects. So this is as simple as, without going to the details of what's happening in the background. I think liquidity is one of the major things that is needed for projects to join an ecosystem. So I see them as three things. One is the stack and the ease of using it, right? So imagine that a business comes and they don't need to, or a project comes, they don't need to be experts in blockchain world or in crypto. They just have a business idea, they want to build that. So they want to be able to deploy easily. Then they need access to liquidity and they need funding. So these are, I think, in my view, the main three things that projects need. And liquidity is basically this problem is solved with Hydro. The alternative of that is what we already have is this concept of POLs, protocol on liquidities, that you go through the governance, you put a proposal, but there is no alignment between the governance proposal and the actual project. There is no feedback, right? You just go and you vote, there are some funds that stay there in the community pool and you just move them somewhere else. In Hydro, there is game theoretical mechanism that enables the best projects to get the liquidity. So it enables the growth of the ecosystem.
Since it's still pre-launch, Hydro, what has been the community response to it so far? I'm pretty sure within the team, people who have sort of read about it, what have you heard?
So the first thing that is positive comes to my mind, and it's very positive in my view, is the amount of interest. The community in general, the feedback was in general good, but what's really amazing is the amount of interest and amount of engagement that Hydro got from the community, right? So, and we appreciate this. I sincerely prefer to have people coming and sharing their opinion and having a discussion than just people ignoring something, right? And this is the way that you thrive, right? You get feedback and you try to improve. In the end, we are building these things not for ourselves, we are building it for the community. So this, in my view, was great. In general, I think the feedback was positive. Of course, there were a lot of things that we had to change, to shift directions based on the feedback, but I think this is a positive intent.
We'll do this quick rapid fire section. Give me like maybe your favorite interchain wallet right now. Or you can have favorites also for different reasons.
Kepler. Like I'm sure that there are a lot of wallets out there that are doing amazing, but Kepler I don't know, for me it's synonymous with Cosmos. It's very easy integration. It was the first wallet that I used, and I rarely use another wallet, so yeah.
What is a project that's almost like a dark horse in Cosmos right now? Like it's yet to be discovered by the masses for how cool it is.
I do not know how many people are familiar with what Anoma is building. So people are aware of Anoma, clearly, right? They're an amazing team, but I think if they manage to build what they put their minds to, they will change the world of blockchains. So their ideas are really revolutionary. So this is amazing. I think it's one of these things that it will change the game.
Was there any governance proposal that that you very fondly remember, or that was something that intrigued you a lot?
There are a lot of them. So I think, something that is funny, I think there were like 3 or 4 governance proposals for Cosmoverse on the hub, and all of them were met with a lot of feedback, a lot of engagement, and we managed to put the Cosmoverse in the hub after several years, for the better or worse, I don't know. It's for the community to decide, but that's an example.
What's one challenge that you feel that is there for Cosmos Hub that that needs to be worked on right away?
I think the main challenge for the Cosmos Hub is the lack of a core team. It's dedicated core team. Initially there was one, it was IAIB, and then due to history that changed, and now it's clearly a gap there, right? And we see that it's a bit of lack of direction, and it's difficult for a business, because the Cosmos Hub is a business, you can think of it, right? And it's a decentralized business, there is no owner of it, but it's a $3 billion business, right? And to find the product market fit, it's not easy to do it without having somebody that clearly thinks of that and clearly has the business concerns in mind.
What's one metric of Cosmos ecosystem, a growth metric that you believe is super important? You have daily active users, IBC volume, liquidity injected, any of these?
I think a very important metric is number of users, right? So it doesn't matter what. People are trying now, it needs to be a very interesting application or a real usage or whatever, but look, you take Solana for example. The Solana is at the moment a meme coin chain, and they are doing great. And this is very cool, right? Find your niche and be amazing at it. So I think number of users should be number one, the number one metric. And everything comes from there. You have users, you have a source of revenue, you can figure out projects will come there, funding will come there because they want to be part of that, liquidity will appear, all of these things.
Do you have some sort of a catchphrase or something that you want to say?
A catchphrase.
For building on the hub?
Yeah, Cosmos Hub, the best platform to launch a chain.
Amazing. I think we're done here. Thank you for a great response.
Thank you.
And that was really cool. That was really cool.